Hello, good evening. I would like to ask my audience a question. How many of you guys have been to Disney World? If so, who, what, or who is your favorite Disney character? Well, mine was Minnie Mouse. Today I will be speaking to you all about an article that I read, which is called Walt Disney's Dennis Hightower Taking Charge. Before I begin, I will state a little fact about who is Dennis Hightower and exactly how he started and who he is now today. In 1962, Dennis Hightower joined the Army. In 1970, he joined the X-Morris Corporation and was admitted to Harvard Business School. In 1974, he graduated from Harvard and he joined McKinsey. And in 1978, he joined the General Electric Strategic Planning and was promoted to VP and General Manager. In 1981, he joined the Mattel and he became the VP of the Corporate Planning. During that time, the company faced severe business problems. He assisted them in restructuring the company. And in 1984, he joined the Russell Reynolds, head of the LA office. There were two brothers. These two brothers were named Walt and Ray. They founded the Disney Brothers in 1992. And they only had just $500 on them, just $500 of loan. And during that time, from $500, they grew in sales nearly to $3 billion from the entertainment industries. In 1929, they struck their first consumer products licensing agreement with the merchandise of Mickey Mouse pencil tablet. The DCP, which is the Disney's consumer products, they took over and they became involved with the managing of the licensing of the characters, such as the songs, the musics, the apparel. So they became involved with that managing, so they took over and they started managing it. In 1987, the division revenue reached $167 million with an operating income of $97 million. So this is just a little graph. This is the revenues and the operating income from the year of 1987 to 1994. So it goes from the film entertainment. It shows the sales and the operating income. So from 1987, they start off with a little amount, and then they graduate as the year progressed. The sales and the operating income started going up and up and up and up until 1993. They grew in sales of 4,793 and operating income of 856. And not just the film entertainment, they also had the theme park and resorts and also the consumer products. So within these three things, there were the sales and the operating income that was budgeting everything to see exactly how much money they were making from these entertainment industries. In 1934, Walt Disney visited Italy to initiate their licensing business, and they met up with the Italian publisher. Between that time frame of the year 1937 to 1987, the DCP had 8 on European subsidiaries that operated in 20 different markets. Together, they ended up employing about 102 employees. Within that market, within that time frame when they employed it, they all had the managers that was in their position. They were there for a pretty long time. So they weren't just immature managers that was there for like 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. They were managers that knew the business. They knew exactly what they were doing. So in 1990, they saw a great opportunity for business growth, and they took full advantage of that opportunity, especially of the opening of the Disney theme parks, and that was going to open up in 1992. So during that time when the opening of the parks were about to open, they knew that this was going to be a great opportunity to take advantage of it, and that's exactly what they did. They took advantage of that opportunity. But they soon realized, after they took advantage of that opportunity, that they were going to need a vice president in the headquarters. So that position was open, and it was later filled by, guess who? Dennis Hightower. So in 1987, Dennis Hightower was appointed as the vice president of that particular company. So in July of 1988, before he began all that, before he took the challenge, he knew that he had to think of a strategic plan before he took on that challenge. So he thought of 3 plans. He basically thought and came up with a plan that he knew that he had to grow the business. The first one is he thought about where Disney would be in 1992. The second one, he thought about what change that would entail. So he knew that he had to go out and he had to grow the business. The third one is he wanted to do something different, something that was never done before in the past. So that once he realized and he set out and he wrote down the strategic plan that he wanted to do, in July 1988, Mr. Hightower began to move beyond licensing into publishing business. So from there, he wrote it down as a smart businessman, and now he knows that he has to grow the business. So he began to move it, and now he has to go ahead and start publishing the business with the licensing company. So over time, Disney's European publishing operation became a mosaic, a licensing in the UK, Germany, and others in Europe. So he established marketing and creative services in the regional office and offered resources and coordinated activities of countries and licensing as well. In 1988, Mr. Hightower centralized European contract administration and auditing as well. And in 1988, he entered into the mega deal with selected. He entered into the mega deals with selected partners. So it was the Mattel for the toys. He also entered with the Nestle. The Nestle was a food product. So he knew the right connection that he had to go into in order for him to establish that licensing business plan that he's trying to do. So after consolidating European operation into the single region in 1987, Barton K, which is the worldwide head of the DCP, he established 2 other regions, which is the Asian Pacific, the United States, which is Canada, and also the Latin America. And in 1992, Mr. Hightower made several organizational and personal changes. These particular changes were, in fact, he started off with the creative division, which never run economically, was split. So it became independent publishing and division. The second one, he knew that he had to change the finance and the marketing. The third, he needed to bring the country's operation closer together for generating enormous synergies. So this man had a plan. He went out. He seeked it. And now he is a well-known leader. Someone that you can actually take advice from and know that before you start planning a business, you have to really, before you start a business, you have to plan things out, and you have to plan it strategically because you know that you have to grow the business, so you have to plan it. So Mr. Dennis Hightower by all is a respected leader, an entrepreneur, and a great man. Thank you.